What is up, Interisti? May 20th. It's time to give you guys some news. But first of all, I want to ask you guys, how are you feeling, man? 2 days after that bottle job against Lazio. My God, this team, this team. But this team still has left me with lingering hope. Hope, hope, guys. It still remains.
What are you talking about? Hope. Hope. Let me tell you something, my friend. Hope is a dangerous thing. Hope can drive a man insane. It's got no use on the inside. You better get used to that idea.
Of course, a scene from the legendary movie Shawshank Redemption. Hope can drive a man insane. Are you guys still hopeful that Cagliari can do something for Inter against Napoli? And are you still lingering, clinging on to the hope that Inter can win the Scudetto? I think now the probabilities, the hope, everything is at minimal point. But it remains because of the situation Inter are in, just 1 point behind Napoli. And the news that I wanted to get to talk to you about anyway, guys, let's move on to that. Is about the final day, the final match day. The day has been decided and it has been moved to Friday, the 23rd. So moved forward. Originally was at the weekend. And here, as per the news, FC Inter news as of yesterday, there was a meeting, a league meeting at Serie headquarters to set the title rivals final match day with, of course, they need to think about the prospective playoff. And that now has been decided to be May 26th. So we're going to play Friday. And if it does go to the playoff, it will be on the Monday. So literally just 3 days afterwards. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So Inter and Napoli, two matches presented a particularly thorny dilemma for the league. That is because the title race between the Nerazzurri and Partenopei will go down to the final day. Therefore, the two teams must play their match concurrently. So similar to how we did last match day, same time, simultaneously. Moreover, there's the fact that Inter and Napoli finish on level on points, which, as you guys remember, is my prediction from a few match days ago, and I think it still might happen. There would be a head-to-head playoff between the pair to determine the title winner. Fitting in this prospective playoff match is no easy feat. This is the thing with Serie A. We know Serie A, the league that we love and hate. You've set this rule. This is not the first season this rule came in. This rule started from last season, if I remember correctly. You've not sorted the calendar out since the start. You have to plan ahead. You have to think about this, when this could happen, the potential dates of this. You've left it all the way up until now to decide this, which is crazy. And of course, now that Inter have the Champions League final against Paris Saint-Germain on May the 31st, you're not even trying to help Inter to get that ample rest to prepare for that season-defining match. So obviously, Inter just want to get the league commitments out of the way as soon as possible. So Inter wanted to play their final match against the season on Thursday. So they wanted to move the match forward against Como even more to Thursday and make Napoli host the Cagliari game at the same time, which I think makes sense. If you want to help Italian football as well, it's not just coming from an Inter fan perspective. This is coming from a Serie A calcio fan perspective, and I think people would agree with this. Neutrals would agree with this. However, Napoli, Aurelio De Laurentiis, of course, as the hard nut that he is, preferred the day of Friday just before the weekend, which was also the preference of broadcaster DAZN. Ugh, don't get me started on DAZN. And the league met today, which was yesterday, to determine which kickoff date would prevail. Inter made the case, as did Napoli, as well as DAZN. It was a contentious meeting, which had to be briefly suspended. You can just imagine Marotta and ADL going head to head, as my thumbnail created by AI suggests, but I don't think you needed AI to imagine that. However, in the end, the league has decided upon Friday, May 23rd, as the date for Inter and Napoli's final matches of the season. And if there is a playoff, it will be Monday, May 26th. Oh la 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 la. Oh la 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 la. And of course, that means more and more congestion, fixture congestion for Inter, as if we needed it. But we probably deserve it, to be honest, for being such big bottlers. This Scudetto bottle at the moment could end up. I think it is going to be worse than the Inzaghi first season, to be honest. I mean, Milan in the Pioli Scudetto winning season went on a amazing run at the end of the season. I think if I remember correctly, it was a 7 games in a row or 8 games or something crazy like that. They locked in, they went in. Whatever you think of that team, Salah Jamaica, Messias, Tatarusanu, whoever, Kalulu, young team, inexperienced. Boom, they went in. Rafa Leao went into crazy overdrive. Mike Magnon, MVP level performance as a goalkeeper. We hated it, we bottled it, but they deserved it. This Napoli team is literally farting and puking their way to the Scudetto. They sold Kvara in January. They're barely scoring goals. They couldn't even score against Parma the other day. Lukaku is barely scoring. They're relying on McTominay to come up with the goals. Meret is even making mistakes along the way. Their defense isn't looking that great. Ooh. Bless me. Apologies. But somehow we're letting this Napoli team win this Scudetto. It's going to be a real, real bad bottle job. But Serie A is not helping. The referees for sure are not helping. You know, there is no way that the fans that were crying about Marotta League last season pulling the strings. Ooh, he's pulling the strings, Marotta with his cock eyes. You can definitely can't say that this season. The amount of big decisions that have gone against Inter. I'm not gonna do it, but there are people that are making videos about this, compilations about the refereeing decisions, that the mistakes that have been done against Inter, and we saw them already. We saw them in the last game against Lazio. But Inter only have themselves to blame. All season long, we have been subpar. And it just goes to show when you look at the stats, the stats go hand in hand with the eye test. Yes, we play great football, but have we played great football in the league for most of the season? Not really. And it shows in our strike force. I know everyone, we definitely have, the transfer window in terms of the decision making of the guys behind Lautaro and Thuram. Those guys weren't good enough. Taremi, Arnautovic, Correa, apart from one game, completely useless. But look at the top guys as well, guys. Marcus Thuram, our top scorer this season. We are May 20th, guys. May 20th. His last goal was 5th of April. And yes, I know he's had recent injuries. Lautaro Martinez, again, I know he's had recent injuries. Last time he scored, 12th of April. After that, we got Denzel, who of course scored in the last game. And then after that, Davide Frattesi is our top scorer, a substitute that we know isn't probably going to stay here and is a midfielder. His last goal came 30th of March. And then after that is Hakan, who obviously only scores off penalties mainly. But it's not just, there's so many factors. When you look at it, of course, we know, and then the goal conceding in late stages, the lack of concentration, the lack of staying focused in the latter stages. Look at that second half, 22 goals conceded, and between the 76th and 90th minute, 12 goals conceded. Is simply unacceptable. And in terms of the overall defensive numbers, this is when Napoli are going to win the Scudetto if they're going to win it. At least 27 goals conceded, whereas we're almost averaging 1 goal at least conceded per game. We're pretty much there. I wouldn't be surprised if after the Como game we are there at the 1 goal per game conceded. The fact that an Atalanta team that we saw them when we beat them, 4-0 at the beginning of the season, they had to play with like makeshift centre backs half the season sometimes because of all the injuries at the back. Scalvini, ACL, the Runes had to play there. Isaac Keane's been injury prone. Jim City's been now injured. Lots of injuries. That Kosunu signing, he was injured. Like, the fact that you conceded more goals than Atalanta is pretty embarrassing, to be honest. Yes, we are the best strike force by just a whisker, really. Actually, looking at this, Atalanta would probably be kind of biting their hand right now, regretting not putting in, going all in to try and win the Scudetto. That Scudetto really this season could have been in Atalanta's hand if they played their cards right. especially with their strike force, and actually, even the defensive numbers aren't looking too bad. And of course, our away form as well has let us down massively this season. It's really, really, really disappointing. And the thing is, last match day against Como, this is not match preview, but I can already see it, right, guys? Us as Interisti, we know this team wants to make us suffer. We can see the scenario. We win, and the Napoli win, so it's a useless win, or we draw, a Napoli draw on the other side, so it's a useless, or they might even lose, but because we just shit the bed and we draw, so it takes it to the playoff, or it's gonna be the most painful way possible. It's gonna be the guy that we've been wanting all season, the guy that we're obsessed with, Nico Paz, giving us the dagger straight in the heart. And we don't even end up signing him. Real Madrid just take him, and we don't end up signing him. So all those three scenarios, as an Interista, I think are very, very possible, and I think the most likely scenarios. To be honest, I don't even know what the aim of this video was, outside of just giving you an update on the date of the game. It just seemed like it ended up being a session for me to just moan about Inter, but probably you guys enjoyed that because we all are not happy with Inter. Of course, we are happy with our Champions League progress, and all focus is on that Champions League final now. We just gotta hope that we gotta just keep hope. Scudetto, we can still win it somehow. I know it sounds stupid, it sounds crazy, probably like what 2-3% chance, but this is football. This is fandom. Keeping the faith right until the last match day. Maybe Cagliari, maybe Davide Nicola, the magician, the guy that beats up his players with his shoes, with his slippers, can do something for us. I don't know, guys. You guys let me know in the comments down below. What do you make of this whole situation right now? We'll get at when we enter the season, of course, guys. We'll analyze everything. We'll give ratings to everyone. The players, Inzaghi for sure. He's not going scot-free on this. I can see people are defending Inzaghi, and it's definitely not all Inzaghi's fault. But one Scudetto out of 4, similar patterns, similar mistakes as previous seasons. He's not going scot-free. It's not Inzaghi out, but that man has some things to answer. Of course, the questions might not even be asked of him if we win the Champions League. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Forza Inter. We go on Friday. Match preview will come on Thursday before the Como match. Ciao ragazzi. 37 match days, one more to go.